Welcome back to Life Worth Chasing. I'm your host, Chase Maher, and this show is about helping entrepreneurs build their business around their dream lifestyle. There's something that I've struggled with like way too much the last few years, and it's all centered around analysis paralysis, perfectionism, and really just using that as an excuse to not get things started. And this episode is why done is better than perfect. So let's first start with my issues and things that I've made massive mistakes on falling into this trap. A little while back, I decided I wanted to create a course helping real estate agents with lead generation. And the course launch literally took me a year. And after about a year, or after about 9 months, I really just said, okay, done is better than perfect. Let's just launch it. And that initial time period only took me about 2 months. This podcast, I've been wanting to launch a podcast for 2.5 years now. But I constantly thought that I needed to make it perfect. I needed to figure out the exact niche. I needed to do all these things instead of just getting started and reflecting based off results and reflecting based off action. Another thing that is pretty haunting is all the real estate I could have bought over the last 3 to 4 years if I had pulled the trigger more, if I wasn't trying to find that perfect deal, if I wasn't trying to find that home run. And so reflecting on these, I've gotten over it. They were punches to the gut when I finally was able to admit it to myself. And I'm sure that there's things in your life that you think of as mistakes or you think of as regrets. And I think that's okay. Whenever I hear somebody that's like, no regrets and never regret anything and this and that, I'm either like jealous of them because they must be way better of a human than I, or they're full of shit. And I think it's okay to have regrets. I think it's okay to look back at things because that's how we learn from them. That's how we realize that the next time we're in that situation, we were hurt by our past decisions and we can change them and we can do better the next time. So, what's cool with making mistakes and what's cool with having issues and what's cool with reflecting is we can look at our opportunity costs and we can learn from that. And moving forward, we make decisions quicker, we make them faster, we're more decisive. To me, that is so important as an entrepreneur, as an investor, as a business owner, is to make decisions very quickly. And we never would have gotten to this point, you or I, of realizing that without making mistakes in the past. So mistakes are good. So I think we all probably have had the same sort of issue if we were to take it a step back and think about what's the best way to get something started. And I'm sure if you're anything like me, you've done this perfectionism analysis paralysis thing over and over and like plan, but never actually take action. And I think I said it a little bit earlier, but again, it's just an excuse to not do the hard work because planning is easy. Execution is where you can really separate yourself from the pack. So the next time you have a decision in front of you, I challenge you, instead of planning every little detail out, prepare a baseline plan, prepare a skeleton plan, like what I call it, and then just take action because it's better to reflect on what has already been done rather than guess about what hasn't been done. If you don't have any data, if you don't have any KPIs, key performance indicators, then you're just guessing. You're guessing off somebody else's plan. You're guessing off what has worked or what hasn't worked for somebody else. They might be in a different market. They might have different execution strategies. They might have different marketing channels. They probably have different content. Prepare your baseline plan and then fail forward. Act fast, be decisive, get your product or service into the market and test it. We as entrepreneurs fall into this trap of trying to have like the highest profit margin on everything we do. And every dollar that comes in, we just try to hoard it away. But businesses aren't ran like that. Successful businesses are not ran like that. They have profit margins, they have marketing costs, they have testing costs, they have employee costs. And so we must think about running our businesses in a way that the tops of the industries run. Do you think that Apple plans out every little detail and then goes full launch? No. They test different products. They test different content and marketing campaigns. They test different product ideas and they gather data. They definitely lose money when they're testing like that. That way, when they go full launch, they can act fast, they can be decisive, and they have a really good idea of what the market wants. So, why don't we treat our businesses the same way? Is it because we're scared? Is it because we're lazy? Or a combination of the two? I think it's a combination of the two. So I challenge you, because I've been going through this myself, I challenge you, prepare a baseline plan, test the market, allocate some money that you're okay with losing it on collecting data, okay with losing it or doing something at a very low cost so that you can truly understand what it's going to take so that when you're ready for full launch, you can act fast, you can be decisive, you can get your product or service to the marketplace, and you can feel comfortable pouring in that marketing money and really getting a return on your investment. And I want to end on one last thought. Something that I have realized in the last couple of years that is truly incredible is the power of momentum. And if we constantly get stuck planning and trying to figure out what's going to happen before it happens and all that, we don't have any momentum. If you think about a vehicle, it's very difficult for a vehicle to get started, to get off the line. That 0 to 60 is so much more difficult on the engine. It's more difficult on the driver. But once you get momentum, then course corrects make a bigger impact with less effort. Momentum carries you further with less effort. And so think about your business in the same way, that stop planning at ground zero or at 0 miles per hour and just start doing and acting and being decisive. Because once you build some momentum and you're able to look at data, real actual data, not guesswork, not what somebody else is telling you your data is going to be. When you really have a chance to look at what the market has told you, what's worked for you, what hasn't, you will have momentum and you will get a sense of fulfillment in yourself, in your team, and in your business. That stuff is working. And now you can reflect, now you can perfect, and now you can truly optimize what is in motion off your momentum, rather than trying to optimize what's not even there. Thanks for listening to Life Worth Chasing with me, your host, Chase Maher. If you like the show, smash that subscribe button, leave me a rate and review. You know what? Screenshot the show, share it on Instagram, tag me at I am Chase Maher, and I'll repost it. There's hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and you've made the decision to listen to mine, which is so cool. I'll see you on the next show.